Okay. All right. So today's class, we're going to see AutoCAD modifying and navigation tools. We're going to see circles and drawing aids. We're going to see layers, colors, and line types. All right. Let's jump into a fresh drawing. If you are not on the fresh drawing, go back to the same procedure where how we started opening start drawing yesterday. So if you open that, if you follow that procedure I taught you yesterday or the last time we held the class, you should be here with me. So now let's go on. I'll come on because we want to create everything here. We talk about how to create layers, colors, and line type, circles and drawing aids, AutoCAD modifying navigation tools. So what I want us to do first is whenever you start drawing, I told you that the first thing you gotta do is to go to the options. So you don't need to be setting the options all the time. You do that only when you just install the AutoCAD. And the essence of that is for you to do some simple settings, especially for you to downgrade the AutoCAD to a version that can be accessible by other people. I hope you understand that. All right, good. Now I move on. The next thing I'm going to do what we call layers. Don't forget, I want to start with the last one, layers, so that we can build it up down to modifying and circles. All right, if you get that, let's go straight. I pick my circle, I pick my layers. I come to this part. This is where we set layers property. Can you see it? All right, I believe you can see. So the thing there is that I believe you can see the layers properties I'm flashing on. Now, on the layers properties, we want to set what will determine the properties of each of the pictures we want to use. Now, I click the layers properties. As soon as I click the layers properties, a dialog box will open up. Because you have not touched anything in this dialog box, you're going to have just one layer for now in that dialog box, and that layer is layer 0. This layer 0 is the default layers everybody work on the AutoCAD. So it's always white in color. So for now, we are going to add a few other more layers. So to add layers, you are going to click. Just watch my screen. To add layers, you are going to click the first envelope. We talk about new layers. So I click it, then I'm going to title that layer circle. I can call it anything depending on what I want to write. So I double click this color by putting red. I click OK. So I select another one and click lines. So that is going to define my line. I'll give the line another color. Don't forget what I'm doing is layer properties. I've set lines, I've set circle. I will also need rectangle. All right. So I have rectangle. I will set my rectangle to add another color, maybe yellow this time around. The essence is that so all the layers can be distinctive. Can be what?
Distinctive.
All right, so we want them to be clear enough. So don't forget the layer 1, you cannot touch it because it's the even if anybody doesn't know AutoCAD, the first time you come into AutoCAD is that layer 0 that works. And that yesterday we were working, the layer 0 was already set at default. And that was what we were using to draw. All right, if you get that, I go straight to the next one. I close it. This is a place to close. There is an X at the top. X at the top of the box, close. Then I will come here inside a kind of a page there. I will select what I want to draw first. What do you want to draw? Are you drawing circle? Are you drawing line or rectangle? I want to draw circle. I'll select circle. How do you draw circle? To draw circle, you select circle just the same way you pick line. Or to draw circle, you can type the word circle. Those are the two ways you can do that. Even lines, if you want to draw line, is either you pick it or you type. So now I want to draw circle, I select circle, or you type C. or you type circle in full. Is that okay? So those are the shortcuts. I love shortcuts. So see, now to draw circle, it says specify center point. Circle begins with a center point, so I can click anywhere. You can see as soon as you click anywhere, it pins the circle in such a way that the next question is asking you is specify the radius of this circle. What's the radius you want? So me, I want a 25 mm radius. I type 25 mm. So you can see my circle is already drawn. So I can use my zoom tool. Don't forget my navigation tool. I can use my navigation tool to zoom it. You understand? By selecting your navigation tool, just like before. So I have my circle. So I want to draw another circle. I select circle. Select a center point. Center point means just click anywhere you want here. Are you getting it? So I click just to pin it. Then you drag your hands outward. You will drag your hands, just your mouse outward. Don't forget my auto mode is on. Outward. So you type whatever radius you desire. So here I want radius of 50. So I have two circles. Can you see it? All right. So now I want to draw lines. I want to draw the line. I've selected line. Can you see? I selected line and I pick line or type line, L for line. I'll come to select the center of this circle. How do you know the center of this circle when you pick line? It's very simple. Just don't rush. Make sure the circle is already in place like this. As soon as you pick line, the center point of the object will be calling you to come and join it. This is me. I'll click and click the other one. So that is how I was able to join the center of this to this. Is that okay? Any question regarding that? I don't think so. Do you have any question regarding how I was able to achieve that? All right. So I want to go on. I pick circle. I pick another line, but this time around, I'm using the quadrant. Instead of center, I'm using the quadrant to quadrant. Can you see quadrant to quadrant? Quadrant means, you know what quadrant means in mathematics. All right. Now, something is going to happen now. I want to zoom this object very well. And we are going to use this. We are going to use modifying tools. What do you mean by modifying tools? Modifying, just like the word, means you have drawn something, but you want to adjust or cut some things away from it. So that is what modifying tool means. So which modifying tool am I going to use for whatever I want to draw? Now let's go on. We have several modifying tools, but the one that is paramount for me now is the one that can trim this place off and trim all these offsets off. So how will I do it? You type the word trim, or you come here under modify. Can you see? Modify has its own campus. It has its own tabs. So I'll click on trim. How do I trim? It said I should select the object I want to trim. Select the object I want to trim. I'll click number 1, press enter, and click the second one. Oh, sorry. The reverse is supposed to be the case. Select trim, select the bigger one, press enter, and select the smaller one. Press enter. Let me do that again. I select trim, select the bigger, press enter, and select the small portion of where you want to trim, and press enter. So with this, I can also use my erase tool because I don't necessarily need this mid one. Can you see? I'll press trim again, select the bigger one, press enter, remove the smaller one. Can you see how I transform and modify these objects? I will repeat the step once more, but before I do that, I want to join everything. How do you join? I want to join all the lines, because if I flash my mouse on each of these things, it shows that all the objects are seeing themselves as being separate objects. But I need to join them all together so that they can see themselves as a group of objects. So how will I do that? Very simple. You still use your modify. You can see that most of the adjustments you are doing are really on the modify. Everything, most of the things we are doing are really under the modify. So what am I going to do here? I want to join. So to join is either you type the word JOIN, or you come and select your join from your modify tool. Or the modify tool has several other objects. So I can see my join. Can you see my join? If I press escape, see this place, all these small arrow below the modify. The small arrow shows that there are still other tools that cannot occupy here, that are still buried inside this place. So this is join, or you type the word join. So how do you want to join? I want to select this, and press enter. Now, if I flash my mouse, you can see it's showing all of them being joined. So now I'm going to offset these objects. How do I want to offset? So I will go back the step one more time once I'm done, so that you just see what I want to do. So to offset, I'll just do something very simple, and that is click offset. How do you want to offset? I want to offset this by thickness of 10 or thickness of 5. Press enter and select this object, and press enter. So I hope you can see that.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. So I will